Okay, trying again. Honestly, folks, we really did rehearse this. We made sure that we understood how to operate this, but Facebook has a way of just kind of throwing everything up in the air. And oh, wonderful. I see your request. I'm adding you. Okay, I just added you. Ah! Oh my word.
What a mess! Oh,
But
this is
Saskia, this is just so perfect. This is just so perfect because it's not about perfection, right?
oh no, it's not. Oh, you're so
It's
true.
just, we just keep picking up and we keep trying again and we try something different. And the Facebook lets us know whether or not we're on track.
Well, we're true leaders. Hey, let's.
We we didn't give up. We were
No, we
tenacious.
kept on trying. Oh, I'm gonna tip on my tea
Well,
for a second.
do you know, I never thought to check for updates. I didn't even think. I mean, that was the first mistake, I think, for on my end. I don't even know what was happening.
Oh,
Um,
me neither. Well, doesn't matter. We're on now. I can see Ellie coming in. Hi, Ellie. And Hilde and Margaret were with us. And oh, try, stop, start, change direction. I did that for an hour with Eep before I started the live. I was okay. Breathe in, breathe out, stay calm.
I love it.
Okay.
Well, folks, we are finally here. We apologize for the technical difficulties. We are two highly intelligent women, I will tell you. Um, but the rules keep changing and these processes keep changing. And so you can have it great one day and the very next day you try the same thing and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So let's get going.
Oh,
Um, All right. So I am, Rebecca Trono of Tranquil Dogs Consulting, and I've been a dog lister for 9 years as of this year. Welcome to the Calmer Canine Cooperative page. We're so excited that you're here and you're interested. And yeah, we hope we give you something very helpful. With me is the venerable and esteemed Saskia. She is a veterinarian and a dog listener extraordinaire. And so today we're going to talk about the unique situation of being a veterinarian and how we can help our professionals by hearing what it's like on the other side of the exam table. Okay. So Saskia, welcome.
thank you.
And I have my questions. It was so good.
Oh,
So let's get right into the introductions. I would love to hear how you became a veterinarian. What drew you to the profession?
um, okay. This was already almost 25 years ago that I started university and med school, veterinary medicine school. Before I joined, before I wanted to be a veterinarian, I wasn't really sure to be one because I had an introduction at the university in the Netherlands, and they were very negative about the profession. And I was really because I had the ideal a situation in my mind, in the back of my mind, which was James Harriet. And
Yeah.
the professor who gave an introduction said to me, well, it's not like James Harriet. And I was really disillusioned and got home and I didn't really know what else I wanted to do. So I was just thinking about it, just finishing high school. And when it was time for me to choose, I was like, okay, I'm going to start and we'll see how we get there. So, and it became more interesting and I became a veterinarian. I wanted to be a veterinarian for horses, but I was told my arms were too short. So
Okay.
A horse who had an abdominal pain, so I couldn't do the rectal examination. And they said
Ah,
we need to talk real serious about what you want to become when you finish studying. So I said,
that's
okay, well, I'm
amazing.
gonna say goodbye to the horses, and I'm gonna be a good dog veterinarian because I love dogs. I still do
Yeah.
a lot. So
Yeah. And I should add for everybody that's watching, we have a global community of dog listeners. And I failed to say that Saskia is in the Netherlands. So it's
oh
quite a
yeah,
treat. Yeah,
okay.
we have dog listeners around the world. So, and I'd love to hear how you came to dog listening.
Oh, okay. I'll keep that one short. I'll try to. I'm a dog lover, you already know. Um, I've had dogs all my life, and there was a time that I really wanted to have a king poodle, a great poodle, because my grandpa had poodles when he was younger, and they are very smart dogs. And I had the example of a poodle who was really, hi Madeline,
Hi, Madeline.
who was a real, it was a dog okay, I got my first bar. Okay, 8 years ago, 12 years ago, I got my first male dog. He's a French water dog, Barbet. His name was Roof. And when he was 4, we were hiking in the mountains, and he saw another dog, and he almost pulled me off the mountain. And even though I have been training with him, doing the regular sit, stay, follow, um, search thing, he didn't listen to me. I couldn't tell him whatever I wanted to tell him. He didn't listen. He did his own way. And I was so frustrated and I was mad. And then we got home and I found the book. We had, my partner has it. It was from Jen Fennell, the dog listener, and I started reading, starting to watch her videos, starting to watch the videos from Tony Knight, also our dog listener in Australia, and and that made so much sense. And I started practicing dog listening by myself, and I got captured and I wanted to become a dog listener. So over the years after that, I did the courses with Jan in England, and so here I am, 5 years ahead, being a dog listener, and only recently joined the CCC. So I'm very happy to be in the group. Very happy. So I'm a
Mm.
veterinarian in daytime, and at night I'm a dog listener.
Your superhero disguise during the day. Now, you've seen changes in dog behavior over the course of your tenure as a veterinarian. Could you
Oh yeah.
speak to that?
Yeah, when what we see is an increase in the amount of dogs worldwide, because dogs are great animals to have with you, to live with, and they're very important for us as humans. And when I started practicing veterinarian, being a practical veterinarian 25 years ago, the dogs were actually calmer and they were more um, just a dog, just like dogs need to be dogs. They were okay, they were not really stressed because the owners didn't have the lives we have right now. Right now we're in a world which is fast. We have iPhones or phones, we have tablets, we have big jobs. There's so much stress coming on to us as humans, and dogs feel that. So the dogs used to be quite calm, quite relaxed, generally speaking. They of course there were problems, but you can see the changes going on. Oh yeah, yeah, they
Yeah,
are more
yeah.
nervous, and the breeding is going on in such a high speed that there's not a real selection of healthy dogs. There are a lot of dogs being bred who have nervous problems, aggressive behavior. So the natural selection is a little bit gone, and which
Mm.
I'm feeling very sad about, because yeah.
Yeah.
But there we are. We can provide help.
We're wearing our superhero capes. So, corresponding with the dog's rising nervousness and anxiety that you witnessed in the office, have you also seen a change in the human's behavior when they actually bring the dog in?
You mean over the years?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, there is a lot of behavior nowadays in the owners, and they are, because the dogs are getting more and more a part of the families they're living in, and the
Mm,
dog is almost put in the same position as the children, sometimes even as the adults,
mm,
which gives them a lot of responsibility, and which is leading to anxiety. And when the owners are coming into the practice with the dog, which is ill or needs a vaccination or some blood work or whatever, and the owners are more anxious, and you can see the anxiety jumping over onto the dog, and
mm.
we need to figure out a way how to deal with that. But we'll talk about that later. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that just leads me into what changes did dog listening bring to your practice? How did you change your own approach to help the dogs? I just think that's so fascinating.
Oh, it is. I'm so glad I have been able to to become a dog listener and to use the method into the practice, because normally when I started out, we didn't know about dog listening. We were just a vet and need to work on time, get the exam done, do the vaccinations, and we had the owners put the dogs on the table, and they were not comfortable, so they were a little bit growling. We put a muzzle on, and then it was vaccinate the dog and get on with the next one. So it's time stressy. The behavior the dog was showing was very stressful. I didn't know any better then. I know better now. So what I do is, when I ask the owner to come inside, I used to talk to the dogs, and I was all excited and talking to the dog, disregarding the owner, which was wrong. But the owner felt nice, because I did love the dog.
Yeah.
By then, they were very happy that the dog was funny and cute and lovely to see. Um, but um, it wasn't good, and I changed that over the years. And especially, I'm very thankful to Corona, because we needed to remain distance for about 1.5 meters. So I had a chair put in my exam room, and I now ask the owner to sit down and to let the dogs off lead. It's actually the same what Bianca told us in her live with Colin about
Mm,
in the um, s- um, in the
grooming.
in the trimming. Thanks. Um, which means, if you let the dog off lead and you take your eyes off the dog, owner and me, then the dog can start examining the room. They can relax a little, and we'll start talking. So it does help a lot. Being a dog listener, explaining to the owner what is happening in the dog, and how we can help the dog be more relaxed, and have his or her exam less stressful. So
Mm. Do you see some confusion from some owners? Because we're so used to this over involvement in babying and reassurance happening. Um, do the owners overall accept this new approach, or are they a little put off by it at all, or?
Well, the occasional one is put off, yeah, and that
Yes.
most of the times it's about the younger female um, clients who come over because they feel so um, responsible for their dog. They need to
Mm.
keep him safe and they need to protect it because the vet is about the worst person in the world. He's going to hurt you
Oh.
big time. So and it's only because they love the dog. They want to keep it safe, and they know an injection might be painful or blood work is exciting. So it's all because of love, and I don't blame them. And I do try to explain. And thankfully, most of the owners who come into the practice are very happy because they can see the relaxations kicking in within a few minutes already. And
Mm.
whenever I can invite the dogs onto the table, I lower the exam table and I invite them, just giving them a little snack. Only once. I invite them once. And if they're not coming, they're not getting a treat. So they can think for themselves. So, oh, I missed that one. Oh, okay. So they can see the relaxation and the happiness, and well, a lot of owners say, well, that's the first time at a vet that they approach the vet because you are a vet and you wear a white coat, and they're very scared of white coats. No, they're not. They're just they're just anxious in a vet's exam room. So we can help them out. And the funny
Yeah.
part is, if we do that, we save so much time because
I
you
was
have
just going
a
to ask
cooperative
you.
dog.
Yeah.
And when you are going to put a muzzle on it and restrain it with two nurses, you're going to get into a fight with the dog, which is not nice. It's not nice. And it's not necessary. Not.
Yeah. So
So,
in the end, using this approach of giving the dog choice and inviting them and keeping that calm environment, they start to associate this as a pleasurable experience rather than
right?
something to be feared.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
Yeah, that's huge. Oh my gosh. Um, so you see firsthand the impact of the human's emotions on their dog, don't you?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, And it's um it's so normal. I can see it as well with my own emotions. When I'm at home and I'm excited about something, or my mind is doing a lot of research about nothing, but it's busy. And then my own dog, Eep, he's showing me that I am excited. I'm not even aware of my own excitement. He's showing me. So he's
Mm.
telling me in his own words, without words, that I need to slow down. I need to slow down my emotions. And when the owners come into the no, when they call the practice and they want to make an appointment, they are already emotional, hijacked, to speak
Mm.
in the words of Debbie. Thank you, Debbie. Debbie is Kate's mom. He used the word emotional hijacking. So that's true. We are getting overwhelmed by our own emotions and the anxiety that there's something wrong with our dogs. So when the owner calls, there's already excitement. And when they
Mm.
get to the vet, they need to put the dog into a car. They don't want to be late. So there's a lot of stress building up. And then the confrontation in the exam room. What's the verdict? What did the vet see in my dog? What's the diagnose? Is he going to die? And he
Mm.
might just be lame for a few days, but they you can always think of the worst. So the emotions take a lot of pressure onto the emotions of a human are taken over by the dog. Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
If I'm
so let's talk.
sorry, Rebecca, please get me in line.
You're doing beautifully. So let's talk a little bit about how can we help our dogs? How can we help our dogs, and by extension, help ourselves as owners? I remember Allie Carrington, one of our colleagues in England, did a really lovely video about this subject, taking her dog to the vet. And one of the key things that she did was get there a little bit early, turn the car off, and just breathe.
Beautiful.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
Absolutely brilliant.
yeah,
Because then, as you mentioned, we're hustling. We're always 5 minutes behind our schedule. We're
yeah,
always trying to catch up, or we're trying to leave. I know I did this, leave at the very last moment because, oh, that poor dog, they're going
yeah,
to smell all the smells and they're going to be so frightened. And so we're projecting all of these, horrible outcomes onto our dogs.
yeah.
And the poor vets, the vet techs, everyone suffers on the other end for that. But the one who suffers the most is, of course, the dog,
Yeah,
right?
that's so true. Yeah,
Yeah. So getting there a little bit early, being very calm in your preparation.
yeah,
Um, I always advise get there a good 10 to 15 minutes early and do some stop,
great.
start, change direction,
Sure.
and you can SSCD them right into the exam room.
Yeah.
For some clients, we've had with the pandemic, we've had a lot of changes in the way veterinarians handle
Oh, yeah.
having their patients. And one thing that they've really enjoyed is not having the owners with them, with their dogs, which I find interesting. so we meet in the parking lot, and the vet tech just takes your dog in. And sometimes that really is relaxing for the dog because they're not feeling like they have to take care of their owner who is radiating this high concern about this environment and the person that they're with. Um, so it can be a much quicker kind of operation just to get the exam done.
That that's so true. That is true.
Mm,
Um, but there's one thing we need to remind is that when the dog lets itself be examined, it's in a constant state of freeze. It's not
yes,
happy. So
right.
um, and it will stay in a state of freeze even longer until it's done
Mm,
because it doesn't feel that it needs to protect the owner as well. But if we can get the owner to relax and to understand that the importance of a calm owner with a really low heart rate and a low breathing frequency and a relaxation of the muscles is so helpful because they can
mm.
stand beside the table. They can, and it's so fun, it's so funny. Oh, it's not real funny, but it's so lovely and admirable to see how some owners really try their best to stay calm,
Oh,
and you can see them relaxing as well, and then the dogs are on the table and they're watching their owner like, that's nice. If they could talk, you could hear them say, oh, that's lovely. Yeah, now I can trust you, and now I
yeah,
know you're helping me, because they're
exactly.
relaxing. And
Yeah.
the but it is hard for an owner, and it's hard for dogs. So the corona, sometimes the dogs who are very, very um, excited, very stressed, they might be better off with an owner with them who can guide the dog if they know exactly what to do. But
Mm,
the average dogs are better off when there's no owner with them. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
it's not nice for me to say, but it is true because even though we don't want to leave our dogs alone, sometimes when I have to put an animal into sedation, to get or into anesthetics, to operate it or to do an X-ray, for example. The owners want to stay with us, with the animal, which I understand.
Mm,
And then I put them about half a meter behind me. I say, okay, you can stand near the light button, and the dog can see you, but you can only watch the dog for 2 seconds and then close your eyes for 1 second. And then look at him 2 seconds and close your eyes again 1 second or 2 seconds. And you can see the dogs relaxing when we hold them and put the anesthetic in the IV, in the infusion. And that helps as well. So
Yeah.
physical distance and relaxation of the owner is so important. So what you said and what Ellie is doing, the Reiki thing, slowing down, doing the stop, start, change direction in front of the parking lot, but also you can come in without your dog and talk to the vet before, so you can discuss what's going on, what needs to be done. The vet can ask if the vet knows dog listening, or you can ask the vet to do some dog listening. So that's important as well. You can ask as an owner, what's best for your dog? I know about 10 years ago or 15 years ago, there was a lady with a Rhodesian Ridgeback, which are impressive dogs. They really are
Yeah.
impressive. And I didn't know that much yet about dog behavior, even though I was a vet. I am a vet. I still am. And she came said to me, okay, can you please disregard my dog? And I was like, what? Why? And she said, well, he's a little bit anxious. And I will tell you what to do, when to do it. So I was really under the impressed, sorry. I was really impressed by her presence because she told me what I needed to do. And it went great. It was perfect. And she said to me, well, he's not going to hurt you. And I was like, okay, then I trust you. If you know your dog this well and you can tell me what to do, I believe you.
Yeah.
So if there were only more of these people, then it would be so helpful.
Well, it would be lovely if there were more of you, Saskia, because I've done that. I took my dog to the emergency vet where they had acupuncture, and the veterinarian who performs the acupuncture for the practice came out, and she went to look at my little dog. And granted, he was a doll. He was adorable. He was a magnet. And I stood up and I stood in front of him so that he knew I was going to meet this stranger
Oh,
and
great.
I was going to deal with that. And I asked her to please, would you please interact with me rather than my dog?
That's great.
And yeah, she was, unfortunately, she was a bit affronted. I explained
Oh,
that he was, yeah, you know, deferring to him rather than to me made him very anxious. And if you just let him be,
yeah.
he will be fine. And he was beautiful. He was absolutely beautiful during the appointment. But she still did not appreciate the approach at all.
Oh,
Um,
so
yeah, and
bad.
it's unfortunate because you know, for so many years we've been told to be that excitement,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know, hi. I remember when I was taking my dogs in for chiropractic, and the chiropractor was also my chiropractor. And I mentioned to her about dog listening beforehand because I had worked with her dog with Reiki while she was going through a health crisis. And so I said, okay, this is what my dog needs from both of us. And, you know, this is how we can be his team and help him relax. And reflexively, she walked into that exam room and started with the, and I'm like, time out. And I got in front of him. Yeah. And I said, if you want him to accept your touch, this is what we need to do for him.
yeah.
But
Oh,
it's this, you know, this, you're supposed to give this big performance for the dog to
yeah.
make them feel comfortable
Yeah.
when in fact it's the complete opposite of what they need, which is really kind of challenging for some people to accept, isn't it?
Yeah. It is
Yeah.
hard because in a human way we're educated to look at each other, to interact,
Yeah.
and to look away. And I always remember Jen saying, if you meet someone at the street on the opposite side of the street and you know the one and you don't want to interact, what do? You take your look away, and you just disregard, because you know when you have to you have to interact when you look at them. And that's what I explain all the time. Dogs are not used to interact in a uh, in that way, and they get nervous. They want to know, okay, we need to act. What do we need to act upon? And
Yeah.
they become excited. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
they become anxious. And the things that we do, we make our eyes wide. So suddenly there's a lot of white around, which that signals alarm bells and intensity to the other dog.
yeah,
And our pupils, react because we're getting ourselves hyper into this
yeah,
high state. And so they're seeing all of these clues. And besides the fact that, and you're right, eye contact intensity is just not something that they do unless there's a problem,
yeah,
And so we're sending them all of these signals that make them feel uncomfortable in the first place. And
yeah.
it's just so how can we, well, number one, how can we build a relationship with our vet? How do we know that our veterinarian is someone that we're as people going to be comfortable with? How do we go about that?
Oh, that's so good. Yeah. What I think, what I experience nowadays is that you need to build a relationship with your vet. You need to talk to your vet, and um, try to get on the same level, that the vet understands the needs of the owner. If I'm anxious, and if there's a vet, because I have been in the same position when I am with my own animals who are sick or ill. I am not a veterinarian. I definitely
Mm.
cannot think straight. I'm emotionally completely overwhelmed, and I need a vet who is kind, who is calm, who is reassuring for me, and saying, calm down, we'll do the exam, we'll even if they're not a dog listener, if they are just able to calm the owner down, that's so important. And if you have a good relationship with your vet, if you can talk to them and you're being taken seriously, because it is something if your own dog or cat or whatever is ill, because you feel such a distress. And a veterinarian does understand, but especially nowadays with the huge amount of animals worldwide increasing, we have very busy schedules. We need to perform almost the double work in the normal time, which is it's not very helpful for doing it dog listening way. But I keep on trying. So we need to remind ourselves as an owner um, to be honest. And if there's an owner in my practice and I ask them, "Are you nervous?" and they say, "No, no, 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 I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous at all. I'm not nervous at all." Okay, honest. Say, "Yeah, I'm scared. I'm so scared. I'm gonna lose my dog of cancer." So if you are honest about your emotions, the vet can help you say, "Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do that," and I cannot tell you what the outcome is yet, but we'll get there. And then you can calm down, and then you can ask, okay, can you help my dog by disregarding it? And then move from the side, because frontal approach is very scary. There's a nasal vaccination for kennel cough, an intranasal vaccination. So you need to get the muzzle of the dog, and you come close and you put the spritz, the fluid into the nose, which is awful for a dog.
For me
So
too.
yeah, the eyes. So
So
when
how do we, I'm
Mhm.
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to ask you, how do we know? I mean, is it okay to like sort of shop around for a
Oh,
veterinarian? Is that,
yeah, why not?
it's so,
Why shouldn't you do that? Why shouldn't you ask for a private consultation without a dog? If we do have our physician and we have someone who does not understand our needs. How can we trust them?
True.
You can see trust your life thingy from Tony. What did he say? You know.
I'm not sure I remember. He says many wonderful things.
Oh yeah, that does. Can I trust my life?
Oh, I know. Can I trust my life? Yes. If someone says, trust me with your life, you would have questions as well.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Yeah.
shop around, feel, and in general, all veterinarians have the same educational standard. So, and of course, there are vets who are a little bit more experienced over the years, and they're the vets who need some experience yet. But the basic information they have, the basic knowledge they have, is good. So try to find the vet who you can relate to, who can relate to you, and who you're comfortable with. So do you need to shop around if you feel like it? Oh yeah. And it's not because you don't trust. Yeah, well, it is. It's not because you don't trust the knowledge of the vet, but it's a feeling. You need to be okay. There are clients in my office as well, especially the younger ones. I can be very direct in certain times, and I can say, okay, now that's enough. Now you're going to please do this and this and that. And if it's all on behalf of the dog, for the dog's sake, that I do that. And if they don't want me to do that, then I say, I'm so sorry, I cannot help your dog. You need to find someone else. You can do that within our practice. There are other vets who work differently. And I'm not offended by it. I'm not, because I only want to do what's best for the dog. And I need to connect with the owner as well, because I need to have the owner cooperate with me to get the best results. So it's a two-way thingy.
Yeah. It's interesting because in this country, that's sort of like it's kind of got like I don't know, there's a factor to it of being like, really? I mean, I can go and just talk to them before bringing my dog. And it's sort of like whoever you live closest to, that's who you get. Or, if your friend, cousin, acquaintance has a great vet, they will recommend, which is lovely. But still, you can have a great recommendation and show up and just feel like that it's just not a good match between you, and you don't feel you can speak freely. So I hope people really do hear that this decision is big enough that it's really, really important to take your time and talk to a few. Just find 3
Yeah,
and see if you can make appointments with them just to sit down and chat. If they say we don't do that, then you walk on by, obviously.
correct.
We know that you folks are just so incredibly busy, and it's not going to get any easier, I
No, it's not.
think, sadly. So we haven't had any questions, and certainly I probably, in my introduction, I don't think I invited questions, which is on me. But if viewers of this replay have questions for Saskia, please put them in the comment section, and I know she'll be happy to answer them. So, in summation, we're on the dog listening group. We want, we promote the dog listening method so that our dog is under this umbrella of security with us.
Yeah.
And that just makes things so much easier, such as a veterinarian appointment or a grooming appointment. They'll tend to defer to us and check in. Is this situation okay? And if you're making nothing of it, then chances are they will too. So I just want to say thank you so much, Saskia. This was so beautiful. So much fun. Once we get on, right?
Whenever there are more questions coming out, and people can write them down, but if there is a request with specific questions, how to deal with, there can always be a request to do another live together to address these questions. So we didn't really talk about what to do when, but the basics indeed are do the dog listening approach and stay calm, which is important. Talk to your vet in advance. Do the stop start change direction, and also stay calm going out, because we do are trained that when a dog is doing something okay, we're like, "Oh, good boy, that's a good boy," and then we get excited as well. So stay calm when it's all done, because after it's all done, what I see in the exam room is the dogs shaking out, shaking off the stress, and looking around, looking at his owner, saying, "Okay, okay, and then this was it. We'll go on the usual." So even though it's all gone, stay calm, and then
Wonderful.
yeah, so that's good.
That is, I never thought about the end of it. Yes, because yeah, it's sort of like when you bring your child in for immunizations and, oh, it's done. Okay, let's go get some ice cream.
Yeah,
Let's erase this memory and make
yeah,
it wonderful.
yeah. No, if we stay calm, and the funny part is, if we stay calm, and most of the times I take about 1 minute just to experience the calmness in the exam room, and then I request the dog with me and give it another treat. So it's closed. It's sort of an ice cream, but then in calmness, which is
Oh,
very,
that's lovely.
yeah. So
Yeah, that's
thank you,
lovely.
Rebecca. We've been talking about an hour, I guess, almost for an hour.
Oh, really? Wow. Well, or well, we got on, I think, at like quarter after or 20 after, so
Okay.
about a half hour. I think that's good.
Um, I have no
Thank you.
stop this. Are you going to close down, and have you been recording it, or I have no idea how to end it?
It's automatically recorded, so I
Oh,
will push, yeah, I just have to click the finish button and then post it, and that's, yeah, it's automatic.
have a great day, Rebecca. Have a great day, everyone out there. Be a true leader to the dogs. We'll talk. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.